Afternoon, Year 11, as promised. I'm just going to release another high quality extract on my YouTube channel for your mock exam tomorrow for you to watch regarding Ancoat and the significance of Ancoat. Just need to move my face into the middle of the book so you can see all the pictures that I'm talking about. Now, right, so first of all, just going to talk you through these. Now, there are going to be two questions. One's going to be on the problems in Ancoat. So you've just got to write about two main problems. You can write about a problem with housing or a problem with things like typhoid, cholera, typhus, that sort of thing. But generally, you just got to chuck as many problems on a page to get 8 marks as you possibly can. You're then going to have another question on significance. So that's why Ancoat has been important in improving public health in the 19th century onwards. Okay, so those are two questions you're going to focus on. I'm just going to use this one background and this one set of pictures to do both of those things. So first thing I'll talk about is obviously Manchester Council. That is where Ancoats is, otherwise known as Cottonopolis. It's where a third of the cotton produced by Manchester is made. I think something like 18% of the world's cotton is produced in the tiny district of Ancoat. Now, why is that a problem? Well, it's lots of industrialisation in an area that hasn't been really prepped up to take on the amount of people that come to live there. So we're talking about things like immigration from Ireland, immigration from Italy, all descending on one area. I think the statistic that somebody used is something like there are 200 homes for 4,000 Irish immigrants in Ancoat. So that's worth mentioning as being a problem, that there is a huge influx of immigration and there is actually no housing in Ancoat at all. Now, the second picture relates to coal being used to burn, which obviously affects the air quality. That's why I put it next to Clean Air Act, because in Ancoat, poor air quality was basically, if you look at the picture down in the bottom right hand corner, was killing everybody. Huge levels of infant mortality, and 30% of deaths in Ancoat were due to bad air quality. So that's worth mentioning as a problem. In terms of how you can mention it as a significant improvement, is obviously they realised this. Lots of James Phillips Kay quickly realised that poor quality air was leading to the deaths of people in the district, and also realised that the conditions there were contributing to deaths from cholera, typhoid and typhus as well. So that's why it's significant. Right, the next one on, we're talking about back-to-back housing. Basically, back-to-back housing was one of the problems in Ancoat, as in you sometimes had up to 10 families sharing one back-to-back house. Now, over time, obviously, they had no running water plumbed into them, no sewage, and living conditions absolutely awful. Also had no rear door, which meant that there were massive fire hazards. Now, in 1844, why was it significant is the second question. So that's the problem. The significance of back-to-back housing is that by 1844, the council had banned back-to-back housing. By 1867, it converted all the back-to-back housing. And by 1875, all the slums were demolished. By 1914, social housing has been developed in Ancoat district and in Manchester in general. So that's linked to Manchester Council. But why is that significant? Because Ancoat is one of the first areas to get rid of slum housing and rebuild it with social housing. So the concept of social housing, I suppose if you like, evolves in Ancoat. Right? So that's a massive one. Now we go down to the bottom here. We've got this, obviously, Longdale Reservoir. This was built in the 1840s in Ancoat to provide fresh and clean running water to areas like Ancoat and Manchester. Now, another one of really important to mention, it's not included in these pictures here, is the social reformers. Now, they are Frederick Engels, James Phillips Kay and Edwin Chadwick, and they are responsible for writing reports about the conditions in Ancoat. And basically, what they do leads to all of the various different things like the Public Health Act and the demolishing the slum housing. It was all down to them notifying people about the problem in the first place. Now, Chadwick, obviously, that leads to the Public Health Act of 1848. He starts off by observing conditions in Ancoat. You've got James Phillips Kay, who sees patients in his GP practice and realises from there there's a link between cholera and the conditions in Ancoat. And Frederick Engels is one that I wanted to mention alongside Longdale Reservoir. Is basically his work. He's a factory owner who's also a communist. There's a bit of a juxtaposition there, but his work leads to basically 3,600 homes having running water. It also leads to the streets being paved. I think it's somewhere in the region of like 30,000 tonnes of sewage being removed off the streets as a direct consequence of him writing his report. So that in a nutshell is everything you probably need to know and get through tomorrow's questions about Ancoats. So good luck with that.